Welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch, episode 354.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are
Two
crazy
ketos.
Happy Monday, everybody. We are just 3 days away from Santa's arrival.
More importantly, we are 268 days away from the 2026 2KK getaway cruise.
Golden birthday cruise.
Golden birthday cruise.
Magical unicorn cruise.
Yes.
Where we celebrate together. We actually released last night the cruise vlog from this year's cruise, and I was crying at the end watching like all of the photographs.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that, go take a look at it. Yeah,
so good.
I was trying to match our diamond status with Royal Caribbean to MSC, and it popped up. You are 268 days away from that cruise.
I love that.
I'm like super excited about that.
This morning was like getting away from me fast. I totally spaced out and was like, oh my goodness, it is garbage day and I better get it out because chances are we won't get garbage service on
We will not get garbage service on Thursday.
So, I was like racing
or next
with that.
Thursday.
I'm like, I played too long with the kitten this morning, which is, par for the course. And so I ate half of my breakfast and we're going to eat the other half of my breakfast together. So hopefully I'm catching you while you're eating breakfast and we can just have breakfast together.
So welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch. If you are new here, Keto Beyond the Couch is all about our subscribers. We do this every single Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern. We do it live whenever possible. And if you are new here, the way we're going to do this is we go over everything we have pre-prepared. Then we don't pay too much attention to the chat till like the last 10 or 15 minutes. So if you have a question, hold off till then or use the super chat function because that's going to highlight our screen and we can answer it right then and there. And basically, Keto Beyond the Couch is all about celebrating subscribers' wins as well as answering questions about keto and carnivore that we found on our social media groups like our Mighty Networks group, members.twocrazyketos.com. Now, I do want to say today's sponsor is Equip Foods.
Hello, Equip.
So we absolutely love Equip. They have a really good beef protein. I will say if you are a strict keto or carnivore person, be careful because some of their foods do contain coconut sugar like the Prime bars, but they have a whole line of beef protein and they also have collagen and those are using stevia. But the reason that I'm really excited is we mentioned this on Thursday's live stream. Right now, they're in the middle of switching over to this new logo or like I don't really like it if you want me to be completely honest. I'm sorry, Equip Foods, but I don't like the new branding. I like the old branding. I like bright, colorful. This is kind of like plain, but anyway.
Old.
The good thing about them changing branding is they're trying to get rid of their old stuff that has the old branding on it. So if you use the link that's on the screen or the one that's down below in the description, when you go to their website, up in the top left-hand corner, there's a little hamburger menu. If you press on that, and say shop sales, that'll take you to their sales. And they're doing 25% off all of the stuff that has the old branding on it, which makes a bag of their Equip protein $46 a bag. But it gets even better. When you use our link and the code 2crazyketos, you get an additional 15% off, bringing it down to $40 a bag instead of $63 a bag.
And I know a lot of people use them not just like as intended with like as a shake or, as a drink or in their coffee, but a lot of people use them in recipes, especially for desserts. So they're a really awesome product that we absolutely love. Now, I am going to say before we move on, Barbara is saying, I always enjoy seeing everyone joining in the chat. I do too, Joe. I get excited. So you know what? Let's treat right now like a little Christmas party and get that chat a buzzing.
Yeah. So again, if you need some Equip, go get it before it's sold out. Once those are gone, you're going to go back up to regular price. So if you don't care about the branding on the bag, which I personally don't, go stock up now before that all goes away. We want to say thank you very much to Equip Foods for sponsoring 2 Crazy Ketos. And thanks to you guys for supporting the sponsors who support 2 Crazy Ketos. I did see one question from Storm Chase and Giles said, have you ever made caramel sauce? I tried it, but I used monk fruit, so it crystallized. How can I fix it? So yes. So if you head over to, I don't have the link handy. I see Chris here. Maybe Chris is really good at finding our links quickly. But if you find our recipe video, it's also on our website. I think it's, maybe I didn't ever put that up on the website because we had problems with the website. But if you find our video on how to make keto flan, there is a recipe for our caramel sauce on there. If it's not on our website, I will try to get that up later on today. The problem is that you're using monk fruit, and monk fruit, what I'm assuming you are using a monk fruit blend, because you couldn't just use straight monk fruit, because monk fruit is like sucralose. It's extremely powerful. Like a serving is like 1/56th, a 54th of a teaspoon.
Because they can't make it cup for cup.
And so what they have to do is they basically take erythritol and then they blend in monk fruit, which kind of cuts the cooling effect of that erythritol. Erythritol will crystallize. So you're going to heat up erythritol. It does fine. When it cools, it crystallizes. So you really can't use erythritol for a really good caramel sauce. You need to use allulose. So Chris has got the recipe for the flan video up there. And again, I don't know if I ever put it on the website because we had a problem with it, but I will get that recipe up into there. But if you go in there, there should be the directions in the description box of that video to help you make that.
Well, you know what? We had just released last night the cruise video. And in that video, we gave a big shout out to Nancy Tanner because she really did help us to facilitate community on this cruise with so many fun games that allowed people to just like let the wall come down, you know, when it comes to getting together and just have fun. When people are like, hey, I'm here to have fun, everything changes, right?
Yes.
I feel like it makes it so much easier to continue the conversation at dinner and like, you know, when we're going to shows later on. So I just want to say thank you so much once again to Nancy. And it is her birthday.
Oh.
So let's sing before we go any further today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nancy. Happy birthday to you and many more, so many more.
Drinking a Element pineapple salty.
So we got the
salt.
We got the pineapple.
We need a pineapple salty.
And we got a lemonade salty in this drink, and I'm trying them, but I gotta tell you,
I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't really taste much flavor distinction. I'm tasting like a flavoring, and then a lot of carbonation. And I know that I'm not the person who normally enjoys carbonated electrolytes.
Right.
So like, to be fair, would I ever like it?
I taste the pineapple, but it's not as powerful as I'd like it to be.
It's honestly not my fave. We got them and I'm going to drink them, but it's just not my fave. What do you guys think?
Let us jump right into Keto Beyond the Couch. We're going to start off with this one from Kelly.
Kelly P.
Kelly said, put up this post. It says, gentle ways to fill up your festive cup. Take a nap, let go of perfection, connect with a friend, pause and breathe, be present in the moment, go for a walk, plan alone time, and cozy up with a book.
Kelly, I love this so much. You know what? We put a lot of emphasis, and I am guilty of this in past years, of being like, I want the most festive drink. I'm looking for just like a fun, it's Christmas time. I'm looking for the very best keto-friendly dessert. I want to have like the keto-friendly latte. I want everything to be like Instagram beautiful for my satisfaction. And what Kelly is pointing to is where the real joy and enjoyment and fulfillment of the holidays are found.
Yes.
It is not going to be, as much as I just enjoyed that delicious sandwich for breakfast, my joy is not going to be found there.
Right.
It may be a fuel for the joy, but I've got to fill my cup like Kelly is pointing to. Thank you for that reminder. Yep. I love that.
Next one we have, wait, I'm so excited about this. I really am so excited about this. You ready?
Yes.
From Larry.
Yes.
Last week, We actually have two from Larry.
Okay.
So last week I had a visit with my PCP and my kidney specialist. Both physicians were very pleased with my blood work results, which showed increased kidney function with a higher potassium level. Blood pressure was 121 over 68, which that's normal.
Yep.
Weight loss since May is 86 pounds.
Wow.
Since 2017, 337 pounds.
Praise God.
I am walking at least a mile a day at pace of 1.8 miles per hour. Also able to walk in God's creation. This journey is not over, and I pray this momentum is carried over into 2026. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I actually have a complaint about this photo.
Okay.
But look at this.
Wow.
Now that's from August to now.
Yes.
My complaint with this photo is
it's not from the beginning to now.
He should have put a third photo in there.
Yeah. Larry, we need that third photo.
We need that third photo.
Yep.
From 330 pounds ago.
I am so proud of you, young man. This is a true journey. He has had to make pivots like all of us have to make pivots.
Yes.
Right? Like we have to make pivots. It's not always going to be like linear. And you know what? He has never failed to engage with community, right? No matter what he's been doing. And he has been so faithful to encourage others even while he's waiting to see the results for himself. And I think that is really powerful. You want to keep the momentum going in 2026. You want to keep the momentum that we began on the cruise, this last cruise, for all the cruisers out there that went with us. Did you enjoy community? You want to continue that fellowship momentum into 2026? Let us continue to share. Let us continue to encourage, even before we're maybe seeing the fulfillment of all the results that we're hoping for, that we're seeking. If we will rejoice right now and decide on purpose to celebrate and notice the good, we're going to roll into 2026 with a true victory.
Okay, so I did see a question from someone. I'm going to put this in the chat, even though I know Chris is here. So, DV wanted to know, do we have a eggnog recipe?
We do, and it's amazing.
So I just put a link in the chat for our eggnog recipe. But I also have an updated one coming out this week.
Yes, we do.
So super excited about that. But if you're looking for a keto-friendly eggnog, check out our eggnog. But I have an updated one coming out that is super creamy and delicious. And you can make it alcoholic or non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
I saw Penny said her birthday is on the 24th. Wow. We'll actually be doing a live stream on the 24th.
Dip in on the 24th because we will be able to actually sing on your birthday, which is awesome.
Okay, next one we have is from Kelly.
Hello, Kelly.
I had to share a scale victory. I lost 2 pounds of fluid at the doctor's office yesterday. Feel so much better with the pressure relieved.
I love that you understand like what that is too. You know, Kelly has been clawing her way to better health. One of my favorite moments of the 2KK cruise was realizing that Kelly P had scaled the rock wall and rang the bell. Like that was such a victorious moment, I think, for the whole community, right? I mean, it was just such a beautiful moment. And to see that she is able to see the inflammation leave the body. And what happens when you lose that inflammation? What are you able to do? How is your day different when you lose 2 pounds of inflammation?
Yeah.
Like that is a powerful thing.
That's a powerful thing. Next one is from Larry.
Larry.
So Larry said, I had a major non-scale victory. I'm so stoked. I almost cried on the flight today. I was able to fasten my seatbelt without using a seatbelt extender.
Yes.
Woohoo. Praise God. Thank you, Joe and Rachel. Thank you, 2KK family. None of this would have happened without all you. And I actually see he put a comment here. It said, with tears of joy in my eye, I'm so thankful for this kind of words and encouragement from both of you and this family. None would be possible without God, family, and all of you.
Larry, I am so excited for like where you're going, right? Like where you get to go. Like you're acknowledging all of the goodness along the way. A lot of times we don't acknowledge the beauty of what this health means. You saying, hey, because I am losing weight and feel better in my body and organs are functioning better than they have in past years. This means I get to go out into God's creation. Doesn't mean I have to go move my body. It means I get to go move my body. If I don't need a belt extender on the aircraft, what does this mean? Well, for us, when we didn't have to buy multiple seats and we didn't have to use extenders, it meant that we were prepared to travel more. We were prepared to go see stuff, right? I remember the first time we didn't need extenders on a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
And what I knew that meant for us and how it was going to add to our bravery.
Right.
Of trying new things.
Which reminds me, somebody needs to be brave on go on Iron Quasi before we stop our Busch Gardens tickets.
Do I need to be brave for that ride?
Yes,
I've ridden so many others, Joe.
Nope, you need to go on that one. You've had tickets for over a year. Time to go on it before we cancel this ticket. I need to take a pause and just divert for 1 second based on what you were talking about earlier and with Larry. So we were listening to a podcast from a pastor we really, really enjoy listening to. It's Pastor Josh Howerton from Lake Point Church in Dallas, Texas. And they were talking about joy.
Yeah.
And you need to find your joy. And there's a difference between being happy and having joy. That there is a difference. We as human beings kind of put them in the same thing, but they're not the same thing.
Happiness is very circumstantial.
And we're talking about how lately we haven't been super happy. There have been happy moments, like on the cruise, but then there were a lot of like depressing moments on the cruise where I wasn't happy, and that we're commanded to find joy every day, that you should be joyful.
You got to work on
every day. So how do you find joy when you're not happy?
Yeah.
And that's the hard part. And Larry finds joy in everything he's doing. Even with medical issues he's got, even when, he's dealing with his lymphedema, he still finds joy. He finds the positives. And I think a lot of that is also rooted in his relationship with God.
I think that faith is a major factor because, your joy is your job. Like, I hate to say that to you, Rachel.
Yeah.
But your joy is your job.
We're guilty of not having joy.
And what happens is especially when it comes to your health journey, whether it is movement or it is eating right, or it's deciding to practice stress reduction, holding those lines when it comes to boundaries of people in your life. If your joy or like your momentum is tied to like emotional happiness, then when your circumstances change, your motivation level will change. You will not be as motivated to make the choices you need to make. If you are saying, well, if I'm happy to make those choices, then I will make them.
Right.
That's not going to work.
And your joy is directly related to your health. Because separate happiness from joy. If I only focus on happiness and then I'm a miserable person right now. I've got deadlines to meet. We're trying to rebuild our channel because subscribers is down. We're trying to move into our house. You've got the holidays. I've got so many different things going on. I'm behind on stuff. Trying to find the money to work on the house.
Here goes happiness.
We're still out over $400 from my phone getting stolen by somebody within the FedEx system. I mean, if I just focus on that, I can't have joy. And without joy, then I've got increased cortisol. And that affects my weight. It affects your stress and inflammation and all that. So I encourage you, please find your joy. Next one is from Angela.
Hey, Angela.
I went to see my new GP yesterday. She was impressed with my cholesterol numbers. I was pleased with my HDL being 103. That's awesome. She said, you must eat a lot of healthy fats like olive oil.
Ooh,
LOL.
I like that.
I said, yes, I do eat a lot of healthy fats.
Man, over the years, we have really seen some like positive changes when it comes to doctor and patient conversations. It used to be that it was so few and far between that you would have like a doctor praising your pursuit of healthy fats. They wanted you to eliminate fats altogether, right? And so to see more of these healthy interactions between a doctor and a patient, like that really is encouraging because that's a major difference. I think about like what did 2018 look like with doctor patient conversations versus what it's looking like as we go into 2026.
Yeah.
Major changes.
I see a lot of people saying that joy comes from the Spirit and Jesus Christ. And yes, and we don't want to get too religious because, you know, that's not what we're about. But I just wanted to say, find your joy. And I am going to encourage you, if you are a Christian and you like to listen to podcasts, go check out Lake Point Church. Pastor Josh puts up some really, it's not even the Sunday messages.
The podcast
where they break things down and it's just really interesting. I encourage you to go listen to it. Next one is from Sarah Joy.
Sarah Joy.
Today is full of victory. I love this. It is full of victory. Today I hit 19 pounds lost in 10 weeks. I am also put on a size large top. Been a while since I could do that. It feels amazing to be getting back on track.
Sarah Joy, I am so proud of you. Thank you for never giving up and continuing to show us that we can fight for victory. This is a battle worth having, and you are slaying this, young lady.
So how do you know that Chris and I are like always thinking on the same place? Because I was literally, as I was reading that, Sarah Joy, right?
Right.
And Chris puts up, Joy is also found in Sarah Joy.
It's also found in Miriam Joy.
I mean,
I love it.
I just like, but that's where my mind went. We were just talking about joy. Now we have a comment from Sarah Joy.
I love it.
Okay, next one is actually from Rachel.
Oh, Rachel.
So I had to mention this because it's created some controversy in our Facebook group. Rachel put up this post the other day, and it was something that we found, I think, in BJ's.
It was in BJ's.
And she said, teaching kids that comfort comes from food, especially ultra-processed food, plants a seed that many of us spend decades trying to uproot. I know because I lived it. I've lost 170 pounds and reclaimed my health after disease taught me the hard way what emotional eating costs over time. Food is fuel, connection is comfort, resilience is learned, not stuff. And this is a toy that's being sold in BJ's. And this, again, created a little bit of controversy with some people. But these are called the Emotional Support Pals, which I'm fine with emotional support dolls. But the fact that these are hot dogs, chicken nuggets, and French fries.
So I've learned since that this company called Reliance, I mean, this whole thing just like it basically I was walking past it to because Joe was we were looking at televisions. And so I thought, well, I'll go look and see if there's any last minute things for like the grandbabies. So I go to the toddler section of toys, and there this thing is right next to the little people castle and the blocks and the puzzles. Okay. And so I've since learned that this company, a lot of times what they do is they're making toys for adults, but they're being put in the kids section, right? So it's almost like a Spencer's Toys type of, things. But what I thought is, you know what, even learning that this toy is not for adults and it is not for children. Sometimes we make things like a funny, like, it's no big deal, Rachel. It's like, it's no big deal. We say things, this is my emotional support beverage. This is my emotional support coffee. This is my emotional support food, whatever. And it's funny, yes, if we get the joke. But also, even though it is like can be a joke, where is that joke rooted? It's rooted for me in some hurt. Right. Because the truth of the matter was, pre-keto, my emotional support was rooted in food, which could never actually support me. It could actually never do that job. And when I see this marketed for kids, all I see is a picture of my granddaughters going down, like the possibility of them going down the same road in their thinking. in their desire for support and encouragement, and waiting like I did way too long to find the support that I needed in community, in real friendships, in real relationships, right? Like, that's where support is found.
So here is my issue with it. And some people have posted, well, it's just an animal. It's just a toy.
Sure.
It's not actually food. I'd rather them have an emotional support stuffed animal or stuffed toy
than an actual
over the
chicken
food.
nugget.
My problem, whether I'm right or wrong, you can decide.
Just our
but
thoughts.
For me, my thought is it's the subliminal messaging that it sends out. Very much like, years ago, okay, Disney did not want anybody to have facial hair working in their park. There was a reason. It wasn't about being clean. Okay, it's like when I was in sales years ago, I worked with a company that basically said you can't have a facial hair, you can't have a beard, you can't have a mustache. The reason is because us, not so much, I don't watch cartoons now, but us, anybody over, say, 40, think back to the cartoons that you grew up with. Every villain had facial hair. We have been subliminally programmed to not trust somebody with facial hair.
Right, from childhood.
From childhood. Think about like Dick Dastardly, right? All of the villains had facial hair. And so subconsciously, you don't even realize this.
You think Joe is evil right now.
We've been programmed that facial hair equals evil. Don't trust that person.
The bad guy.
It's the same thing here. No, this is not food. It's simply a stuffed toy. But subliminally, we're teaching children that food can be an emotional support. And that's my problem.
And I have no problem.
And it could be nothing.
And I have but it just hit a sore spot for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want my grandkids to feel this way. I want them to find emotional support and comfort where they actually can confidently find it, right? And so if this was just stuffed chicken nuggets, I would have walked past it. If it was,
they called it emotional support.
It is stitched on the item.
Oh.
You take the item out of the box, the French fries that the kid is holding and toting around is literally labeled emotional support.
Right.
So that's where I have a problem. I don't have any problem and love buying comforters or jammies that's got like desserts all over it. I would buy a stuffed cupcake for our grandkids. I would buy a doll that's got a dress that, some people are like, I'm not even going to buy a t-shirt that has a piece of fruit on it because triggering. I don't feel that way. And I would buy whatever stuffed animal for my grandchildren.
Right.
I just don't want it branded, labeled something that as they learn to read, they're going to read that and attach it to it.
Who's that? Tanya, okay. Said it's the same as you skin your knee, you get a cookie to make it better.
Yes.
It's the wrong message. How about go to the dentist, get a lollipop?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, I will see you soon after we finish this lollipop.
And so I encourage people, don't use food as a reward system for your children and your grandchildren. And that said, Magnum P.I. had facial hair. He wasn't evil. Hello. You're right. But you got to go back further. Think about as a child, the cartoons.
Well, I will say this, Annette. Hear me out here. He was kind of the bad guy, bad boy.
Yeah.
He was not the guy. He was edgy. And what made him edgy, it was those shorty shorts and it was that mustache. He was very well known for the mustache. I think that as the trend changed, like as, styles changed, as we were going into 70s, 80s, I think that, you saw people wanting to have mustaches and then you had the perfect Tom Selleck face for a mustache. So you bring it in, but he wasn't the Pierce Brosnan, stuffy guy, suave guy. He was the bad boy, right? The bad boy that was a little edgy.
But again, when you look at childhood cartoons from the 50s, 60s, 70s, the villains always had facial hair. We're programmed that way.
The Scooby-Doo villain.
Let's take a quick fade to black.
Well, hello.
Okay, we're going to start off with this one from Andy.
Hey, Andy.
Actually, it wasn't the one I wanted, but that's okay. I'll go back to the one I wanted. Said, I'd appreciate any advice on cooking venison, specifically roast or ground meat.
Yum.
Our family members get deer this season and is gifting us some.
How nice.
I'm not a huge fan, but beef is so expensive. So any ideas on cooking or recipes that will help with the gamey taste? Have a blessed day. Okay, so I love venison, but yes, here's the thing about any kind of hunted food, wild hunted food. The taste is affected by, number one, what the animal has been eating. So where was it killed? What's in its environment? Venison meat coming from a Florida deer is going to be very different than venison meat coming from, say, a deer that you kill in New York, just because of its environment and what it's eating. The second thing that affects venison or any wild animal like elk or moose or anything like that is going to be how it was processed and cured. So how do you overtake the gamey taste of it? Spices and fat. Okay, especially venison, which is extremely lean. Add in some fat. I like to use beef tallow. You can also use butter, but adding in some fat will really help with that flavor. Also, in your cooking process, spices are your friend. Spices are your friend.
Yeah.
And then finally, with ground meat, one of the things that really helps to accomplish both the fat and the taste is mixing it in with some like maybe it's like 75-25 ground beef or ground pork. Like a nice fatty ground pork, adding that in, it helps give you a blend of flavor. It's kind of like adding in if you're trying to get an organ meat, but you don't like the taste of organ meat, blend organ meat into your ground beef. Same thing here. Blend in some ground beef or blend in some ground pork, and that will help as well. So you're going to be adding some fat and then also changing out the flavors a little bit. But for me, it's all about spices.
Well, something that I always enjoyed was like turning the ground venison meat into basically like the spaghetti sauce meat.
Yeah.
Where you're pairing it with spaghetti sauce, because like you're saying, it adds a lot of flavor because you're adding the spices. And I remember
marinating too.
And I remember the first time that I had it that way, and I was like, "Ooh, shouldn't we be doing something extra special to make it into just like, taco meat or, Italian covered sauce meat?" It doesn't seem fancy enough for deer, but it really is delicious.
Yeah. Okay, here's the one that I was looking for today's topic. Question: will a little heavy cream in my morning coffee and cod liver oil supplement, which also has some calories, be enough to break my fast and end benefits of autophagy? This is it's a controversial kind of thing, but the answer is, if you are fasting for autophagy, yes, yes, yes. Don't listen to anybody who says it doesn't. Okay. Eating anything, 10 calories of fat will break a fast for autophagy. It may not affect you if you're fasting for weight loss, because if you're fasting for weight loss, the idea is to extend you, and you're giving yourself just a little bit to kind of extend not eating, and it's going to keep your insulin low because it's extremely low insulin. It will affect insulin a little bit, but not much. But if you are fasting for autophagy...
And what is autophagy even for?
Okay, so let's talk about what does autophagy do. That's a good thing. So, like I said, if you're fasting for autophagy, eating anything is going to break your fast and end autophagy. Now, autophagy, I will say before I get into what it is, it doesn't just immediately end the second you eat, but you severely lose the benefits when you begin to eat. So what does autophagy do? Basically, what autophagy is, it's your body is eating itself. In itself.
That sounds terrible.
That's the simplest way to explain this is autophagy is your body eating itself. Okay, it doesn't have fuel, so it eats itself. And what is it focusing on? Like dead cells, it's rejuvenating. So autophagy is going to help to remove your damaged proteins. It'll clear malfunctioning mitochondria because it's getting rid of all of the bad stuff. It reduces your cellular stress and your inflammation. It will improve cell efficiency. And then it will support long-term disease resistance.
Which is good.
The way you're going to activate this is through several things. Number one, fasting, especially 18 to 48 hours. You really won't begin to enter into autophagy until about 18 hours. Keeping insulin really low. Having a very low amino acid availability, i.e. don't eat protein, okay? If you have a big calorie deficit at a cellular level. So again, all of this relates to not eating. And then also doing exercise, like really, especially when you're fasted, and doing high intensity. The other thing that will affect autophagy and help you to get into autophagy is having a really good sleep and circadian rhythm alignment. Here is something, though, that I really, really want to stress. Stop chasing autophagy, especially if you're a woman over 40.
I'm a woman over 40.
Okay. Now, this applies to everybody, but if you chase autophagy, especially if you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to go to two different things that are on opposite ends of the spectrum. If you chase autophagy effectively while you undereat, i.e. you're trying to lose weight, you overfast, you overexercise, if you sleep poorly, all of that will raise your cortisol, which then disrupts your hormones, and then the whole thing backfires.
Right.
So again, you're chasing autophagy, but you don't have really good sleep, or you're not eating enough food. Okay, so
right.
Autophagy is really good when you can do it occasionally, but if you are actively trying to lose weight, say eating 500 calories less than you're supposed to, and then you're also trying to chase autophagy, you are under eating. That is a stressor on your body. It raises cortisol. So now you get the backfire of increased cortisol, no autophagy, increased cortisol, no weight loss. So kind of focus on one or the other.
It's important to know that, like, yes, autophagy is beneficial, but chronic stress is not. And sometimes the most autophagy supportive thing that you can do is eat enough protein, lift some weights, make sure that you are getting some deep sleep, fast occasionally, yes, but not constantly.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
So to answer the question for Rob, will any heavy cream break a fast? Yet it will break it may not necessarily break a fast if you're just trying to lose weight, because that little bit of fat will help you. Okay. But if you are fasting specifically for autophagy, consuming anything other than water will break autophagy. Even coffee would break an autophagy fast, because coffee does have some calories. Not a lot, but it does have some calories. Okay, next one we have is from Angelica.
Hi, Angelica.
What is the Sous vide method that everybody is using? We're looking into learning about this and want to invest in equipment. Recommendations, please. Also, all the background you can offer. Sous vide cooking is miraculous.
It is where it's at, baby.
Okay, so what is sous vide cooking? It is an immersion type cooking, but you are not directly immersing your food in water. You are using water to cook your food. But you're technically what sous vide cooking is you are cooking in humidity. Okay? So the way you sous vide cook is the traditional way is you have a stick sous vide. Okay? Like the Innova stick sous vide. There might be a link for one down below. I know there's one on our website. You use the Innova stick sous vide. Then you have a bath of water. It could be a pot. It could be an old, like we use like an old big giant flour bin. Mm-hmm. We have a hole cut in the top on a lid. You can actually even buy a sous vide bath. Okay. So you fill that up with water. You take whatever you want to cook, whether it be chicken, steak. You can even do yogurt. You put it inside of that water. Now, for the meats, you're not going to put your meat directly in there. You're going to put it in a bag, whether it be what Rachel calls a stasher bag, like a silicone bag, or a vacuum sealed bag. You need to get as much air out of it as possible. You're going to immerse that bag with your food into the water. And then, because it's sealed, you're now building up humidity in there and you're cooking it so it retains all of the juices. You get the most tender, moist meat ever.
It's what restaurants are doing.
Yes.
Because you go to a restaurant and you're saying, hey, I want this steak cooked this, and it doesn't take you an hour to get your steak. It's because they're keeping them in sous vide for at medium rare, well done. It's all in the back in a sous vide.
Yeah, some of the steak restaurants will do that. Not all of them do that,
but a lot of them.
But here's the thing about sous vide cooking is it's pretty impossible to screw it up.
Which is nice.
Because let's say you want your steak at 121 degrees. That's what you want your internal temperature to be. You put your steak in your sous vide bag, you immerse it in water, you set your sous vide to 120 degrees. Your steak will never go over 120 degrees. You can cook it in there for 6 hours. You can put it in there frozen. But you can cook it in there for 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. You will never overcook your steak. It will be perfect every time. Now, the caveat to this is when you take it out, it's ugly. It's gray.
Yes, it's gray.
Because you've been cooking in humidity. So what you would do then, after you take it out, is you then sear it. So then you take a hot cast iron pan, or you have fun like me and you get a blowtorch and you give it a quick char. So you can take a hot cast iron pan, or you can even put it under a broiler for just like 30 seconds, and you just put it under or put it on that pan, and now you get the outside crust, but you are cooked from edge to edge at 121 degrees or whatever temperature you go. The other thing that we have is an Innova Precision oven, which is basically an oven that can sous vide cook because you're cooking in humidity, but you don't have to put anything in a bag. It's also the best way to reheat a steak or brisket or anything.
Yes.
Because again, it won't dry out. You're not going to take your steak that you had at medium rare, and now when you reheat it in a microwave or something like that, and now it's well done. No, you're going to set it to that same temperature, and it
takes it back to that temperature.
4 days later, you could reheat it. It'll be the same way.
Yeah.
John said, I love sous vide. My sous vide wand is the hardest working appliance in my kitchen. So, yeah, we actually went and we emptied out. We have a vlog coming, but we've got our bed set up. We went to storage. We got our mattress, the box spring out. We brought our couches in. So excited for all that. And I do see my Innova Precision oven sitting in the corner. And I was trying to figure out where I can put it in the kitchen, because I don't know if I want it on our counter, because I like having a lot of counter space. But I did see we do have our old rolling cart.
Yes.
For our
Berkey,
and I'm thinking about just adding that rolling cart into the house, since it's just us anyway, and putting it right on the edge, because I really would like my Innova back, because number one, the Innova Precision oven does not heat the house up like the traditional oven does.
It's nice for summer cooking.
And it would be nice to get back to sous vide cooking with the Innova oven. Okay, next one we have is from Brenda.
Hey, Brenda.
No Keto Palooza? ?
There will be a Keto Palooza.
So yes, there is Keto Palooza next year. All of the details have not been announced other than the dates. We will unfortunately not be attending Keto Palooza for the first time. Not because we don't want to be there.
Right.
We are heartbroken that we won't be there. But unfortunately, we had already picked and announced and signed with MSC Cruises for the dates for the 2KK Getaway Cruise, which is October 4th through the 11th, leaving out of Port Canaveral. About a day or so later, Autumn announced that Keto Palooza would be coming back, and there is like a 1 or 2 day overlap. I think there's a 1 day overlap. So unfortunately, we won't make it. If there's anybody who this affects the most,
it's us.
It's actually us.
Yeah.
Because if we could be at Keto Palooza, if Keto Palooza was the day after the 2KK cruise, we would be there. We would literally get off the cruise, jump on a plane, or jump in the car and drive to Keto Palooza. That's how much Keto Palooza means to us. But that's unfortunately not the case. We had thought about changing dates, or even asking Autumn to change dates so people could go to both, but it would still end up within a couple of weeks of each other.
And I think that's too much for people to get off
Most
work,
people could not do both
pay
anyway.
For. So I think it does come down to like you have to make a decision about which one to go to. I am going to unapologetically say, come on the cruise, right?
I was going to say this. I love autumn.
I want to see you.
I love autumn. I think Keto Palooza is great. But if you're going to ask me,
yeah,
where your value is, your value, because it's going to cost you close to the same amount of money per person,
right,
would be a 7-day cruise with a 2KK family for pure community.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. If you can't go on the cruise, if you're afraid to go on a cruise, like I know Chandra is afraid to go on a cruise,
yes,
then go to Keto Palooza.
Absolutely.
But I would encourage you to come on the cruise, because if you want community, we're up to like 68 people, I think, 16, maybe even more. I have a couple reservations I have to be entering in. But Marianne said the cruise is actually going to be less than attending Keto Palooza.
Depending on where you're coming from, like you're coming from Florida like us, yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
So my thing is this: do one.
Yes, do one. Pick one.
You need community.
You need it.
Okay.
Jen said I actually lost 4 pounds on the 2KK cruise.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, Jen.
Wait, I lost where we at. Okay, this one from Robin.
Hey, Robin.
Robin said, I told Rachel a couple times on the cruise, every day it got harder and harder to bypass pastries in a buffet. What kept me from eating them is the fact that I can't eat gluten without getting sick. And I refuse to get sick on the cruise again. But it was challenging.
You know, man, this is such a tough thing. But yeah, you know, Robin was sharing that she's learned for her body, she can eat right and feel good. And her body is just like focused on well-being. Or for her, if she eats something she knows like is undermining, she absolutely makes herself susceptible to any cold that's around. She picks it up. It's like her immune system absolutely comes to her and says, pick one. Do you want to enjoy being healthy, or do you want to enjoy this pastry? You don't get to have both. I definitely think that for my life, that's kind of how it is when it comes to like my mental wellness. I know people say like, you know, do you ever cheat or do you ever go off plan? Or no, because the way my brain works, my brain health is, you can be well in your mind and enjoy your life and fulfill your purpose, or you can have this treat.
And stress is the same thing, by the way.
And so I have just made the decision. And like Rob said, is it always easy to walk past the thing? No, sometimes, you know, I bump into stuff exclusively during the holidays that maybe was something I really enjoyed pre-keto. And because I don't normally see it except for during the holidays, you're not like building up resistance as far as like being able to walk away from it every single day of the year. You know, like I can walk by a Subway sub shop that usually like that bread smell would call to me like, oh, lunchtime. And now I'm like revolted by it.
Yeah.
But I've had a lot of interactions with it over the years, because a lot of times I'll go shopping and there's a Subway like right next to it. So you smell it. Then there'll be something during the holidays that I don't really have the muscles of being in the sphere of, and it will be like, whoa, look at me. I think you need to give me some attention. But like Robin, I just know I get wellness or I get that thing, but I don't get both. And over the years, the wellness has just become more dear to me.
Next one we have is from Julie.
Good morning, Julie.
I would definitely be interested in a 30-day reset challenge. In 2025, my RA flared up, on and off steroids and back on meds for it. I've gained back a lot of weight. I'm finally off steroids, so needing a new start. So we are going to be putting together a 30-day restart program that we're going to do together as a group, which will be starting on January 1st. So
let's do it.
Again, you know, we're talking about eating foods can lower your immune system, so can stress.
Yes.
And so that's one of the other things I have 1 week to finish getting all of that together along with everything else. And that's stress. Stress for me, increased stress is increased pounds for me.
Yeah.
I can literally fast, but increase stress, I will gain weight. I will gain weight fasting if my stress is up. And it's all in inflammation. Like I look at my face right now, it is all super puffy because I'm super stressed right now.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to work on stress reduction. Having a little kitten has helped. Except for when the little kitten decides playtime is 1 a.m.
I know.
And you don't want to
She's wild.
trim her claws
So
because then she can't get up on the bed.
I know.
So
she's a wild child.
Next one is from Marina.
Hi, Marina.
Question. Do you happen to know whatever happened to Eating Evolved brownie batter keto cups? Google says the company still exists, but they don't seem to be producing anything. Keto cups, cacao bars, nothing. I'm baffled by their disappearance from store shelves and online ordering. I don't know what happened to them. We actually really liked them. We used to get them in Whole Foods. I suspect that this had to do with a quality problem because it melted very easily. There were numerous times where we bought them in Whole Foods.
And it was soup in a bag.
And it was literally not even like...
We didn't leave it in the car.
We left it in the car or something. We literally bought it, brought it home, and when we opened it up, it wasn't 2 cups. It was 1 mashed cup.
Right.
And it wasn't even good. And I think that was the problem. But because the ingredients were so clean, that it didn't have anything that prevented it from melting. Like if it was 74 degrees, it began to melt.
It's something that you almost have to have them make it in their kitchen and sell it through the window of their kitchen.
Yeah. Now I can't confirm that, but
that was our experience.
That was our experience.
And we loved it.
And if anybody finds out, I would love to know. Next one is from Synergy.
Hey, Synergy.
I find that I do better when I keep my treats to keto chow ice cream or part of a keto brick. The good nutritional value must make a difference because those things don't trigger me at all. Keto candies and snacks are just sweet treats without the balance of protein and fat that a meal would have to trigger me to gobble them all
Great
up.
thought. I agree. I think that it does make a huge difference. And if you're like, hey, I want to be able to have something super tasty and fun and have a flavor variety, then that is going to be my recommendation. Lead with keto chow and keto brick, that sort of thing. They're sweet.
Add one in.
They're delicious, right? But they are not only a dessert. And I do think that makes a difference.
I agree. Listen, I love making keto desserts. When we go on a cruise, we like to buy things like Quest cups and bring them so that we don't feel like we're not indulging in something like when everybody else is. But I find that if we consume something like even like our regular ice cream, not keto chow ice cream, but our ice cream recipe that I use for the high cozy, or a homemade keto dessert, or something like Quest cups, or anything like that. Even, and again, I'm not saying that we don't use those because we do, but even something like if I have too many caramels from Scrummy Sweets, Switch Sweets, it can trigger me to want more and more and more and eat more.
Sure.
When I use something like keto chow ice cream, or I use keto brick and just melt it into pucks, or the one that I really enjoy using is like carnivore bar, the apple pie or the honey barbecue.
It's like tasty.
It gives me that sweet treat.
Yeah.
But it's doing something for me.
And I think the balance makes a difference.
Some people are going to say, well, carnivore bar, honey, they have non-honey flavors. But I'm at my point in my journey where like I have fixed my metabolic issues and you're talking about like 8 carbs in it. And if the rest of my food throughout the day is just meat and not carbs, I'm okay with it because I don't react poorly to the pure unfiltered honey that is in here. Now, if you are still trying to work on diabetes issues, it may not be something you want, but I would rather have this or have anybody. If you gave me, if you said to me, I want to have one or the other, Quest cups or this is less total carbs.
Well, and that's the thing.
And has more nutrition.
Because you're talking about like, well, having something with apple in it, like actual apples in it, or something with honey in it. But yeah, take a look at that total carb count. You're still looking at like 8 carbs.
I think Quest cups is like 16 or 17 total carbs.
But yeah. So if I'm getting something like those legendary protein cinnamon roll wannabe things, they're like in the 20s
They're like
of total carbs.
carbs.
So again, let's not like
pick pepper out of poop.
Because the goal is, if you're trying to reduce your carb intake, and that's the overall theme, then eight carbs per interaction
from Whole
Foods versus 22 carbs, just because, you know, I recognize those keto sweeteners and ingredients. And so I say, hey, this is an ingredient list that is acceptable and it's got the keto stamp of approval, whatever the heck that means, or something that is actually less in total carbs and not undermining. I think we need to like be smart. I think we've been doing this long enough that we can make choices that, you know, are beyond just being like what everyone else is accepting of. Yeah. Does that make sense?
I've just found that having a carnivore bar as like my dessert has helped me to not want to have the other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so you can do with that information you want. Again, I would rather you eat 8 to 10 total carbs in a carnivore bar or something like that over eating a 30 total carb, but it's only 5 net carb packaged product.
Yeah, I love what you're saying. I had a keto chow creamy before going to the girls' Christmas party. It saved me from bad decisions, and my niece's hubby made wings for me. That is awesome.
We have wings in the fridge.
I know. They're delicious.
Okay. So Janice said my dresser is full of keto chow and keto brick.
Yep.
John said I like keto chow cakes and creamies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so John said those cups sounds like they need to be refrigerated. Yes, that, and I think that is the thing. I think those cups, which is how we had to store them, that when you got those evolved cups, if you stored them in the refrigerator, they were fine. But the problem is they're not stored in the refrigerator or in the store, and I think that the issue becomes shipping.
And the company, shipping is an issue, definitely. And also remember, like, this is a smaller company, that this is not Nabisco, right? And so what happens is it costs a lot of money to get yourself on a store shelf. That is not an easy or cheap endeavor. And if you need refrigerator space, now you're talking about the difference between marketing costs being like any day and marketing costs being like the Super Bowl ads. Right.
Sean said we got the Innova oven based on your recommendation. We can't imagine our lives without it now. Just set up the roast in the morning and sear it when we get home from work.
It really has been a blessing for holidays.
I miss it.
Family get-togethers. Like I can remember, you know, sometimes holiday meals or like family get-togethers, it's like a photo finish. You give everybody the time as to when you want to gather, and you just hope you get it done in time. Having something like the Innova oven means that you can guarantee a time.
Yeah.
And what is, even pre-keto, let's be honest, the turkey or the protein, the ham, those things, that was still the centerpiece.
Yeah.
It was still the centerpiece of dinner. If you are making like, you know, ribeyes, you are making like brisket, even if you have other sides, the brisket is what we are waiting for. Right? The protein is what we need to be done, right? And so having the confidence to know that like it's in the Innova, so it's going to be done when we need it to be.
So Christina,
hey Christina,
her birthday is tomorrow.
Yeah, so
but also we had
Sean is tomorrow,
and you just
Shell was yesterday.
Shell was yesterday.
So let's sing happy birthday to Shell and Sean and Christina.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Shell, Christina, and Sean.
I didn't know what option you were going.
Happy birthday to you and many more. So many more. I think it is very romantic that Shell and Sean have such a close birthday as a married couple. It almost must be like, do you celebrate it like individuals, or does it become like a second anniversary because of you being so close together?
And 2 days apart.
Yeah, they're really close together. But I just wonder, because, you know, you got your anniversary and you're going to go out to fancy dinner. Maybe you're going to do something fun. Then your birthday comes.
Well, I know that Sean and Shell did something for her birthday. I'm curious. See, I would be the person that's insistent. We're having a joint birthday. Rachel would be the person. No,
I want
my day
own.
is my day.
Yeah.
I'm still owed my day.
I know.
We got a cat which has taken away my day.
Hey, I tried, admittedly, but you were also cutting down a lot of stuff. You're so excited about the pigs.
So would you want if you were with your loved one and your birthday was within, say, 3 days?
Yes.
Would you insist on your own day, or just say like, today is the day?
I have a question.
And we also like pick the day in the middle, and today we celebrate today.
I have a question for Rodizio Grill.
That would be awesome.
If
we didn't use my Rodizio. I think it's too late now.
If you get a buy one get one for your birthday at Rodizio, and you come with somebody who also has a birthday, and they get a birthday,
it's buy one get one. You can't, but you can go twice.
But it's kind of hilarious though if you could bring it and be like, "Hey, I got to buy one get one."
But you got to buy one to get the one for and now it's buy one get one for a penny.
I just think it's funny, right?
But
do we pay a penny?
But here's the thing: is that the Rodizio Grill? If you're not signed up for it, if you have a Rodizio Grill, sign up for the Rodizio Grill for your birthday, because on your birthday they give you a buy one get one for a penny coupon, and it's good for 2 weeks before or after your birthday.
Oh, that's good.
So for them, they can go twice over the course of a month at buy one get one.
Yeah,
that's a good deal. Bride's Biscuit said weight loss, ketosis, not lost by 10 calories from fat, autophagy, and gut metabolism are. Yeah, because again, think about like if you put 20 grams of fat in your coffee, that's 180 calories. That's a significant amount of fat. Barbara said, how about cancer treatment centers that provide hard candies to suck on while getting chemo?
Seriously.
I might give them a little bit of a pass. I don't know if I'd have to ask my mom, does something like that help with chemo? Because obviously my mother was an oncologist.
Okay, so
my concern is kids. Like, leave the kids alone. Stop programming kids.
So I saw Annette's one. Go ahead and read her question.
Where was it?
Right above Barbara's. Dick Dastardly is the only one that I can think of. Skeletor, no. Gargamel, no. Who else? Yosemite Sam. So here's a couple. And let us know in the chat if you come up with some more.
Especially when you go to Walt Disney's time.
Jafar is a bad guy. That's the one from Aladdin. Captain Hook from Peter Pan. Scar, technically it's fur, but that dark mane on Scar has got the villain beard energy. Okay? Hades, that has like the flame hair. He's got like shadowy, like stubble vibes. You also have, just like you said, Yosemite Sam. Shere Khan had whiskers on purpose. They designed him to have like whiskers that kind of looked mean. Rasputin was like the scraggly beard, sunken eyes, right? Governor Radcliffe from Pocahontas, I believe, was another one. Dr. Facilier, I think isn't he the one that is from the Frog Prince?
I don't know.
I believe so. King Candy. Yeah. Long Fang. Diablo. Like, there's a lot of villains that are trying to leverage that mustachy facial hair stuff.
Okay, so Larry said, I've recovered so much joy and happiness from the two of you in this family.
Aww.
Yes, Jesus is the foundation for that joy. However, as you both know, community makes joy even better. Praying for us all.
Larry, thank you. What a blessing you are.
Let's see. Any other ones?
What are we doing today? We have an exciting errand that we'll be sharing.
We're going to be getting off in a couple minutes because we are getting our new pet pigs, pork chop, bacon.
It's not their names, but nice try.
We are getting them next week. I guess on like Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday or Monday. I don't even know what day. So we're getting them next week. And so we are going to another farm today to get more pigs. No. We're actually going to the breeder farm where the mother of our Kuni pigs came from.
Yes.
So she actually bred out the mother of our pigs.
So we bought the mother's piglets from one farm, and we are going to the farm so we're going through the generations here back to where it started so that we can meet the mom's breeder and see what that farm
for
is like.
us, this is all about, we're taking a ride up to her. She is in Plant City, Florida, so about an hour and 15 minutes away. But we really want to go just see how does she raise her pigs, because she is one of the biggest breeders who really tries to preserve the breed itself here in Florida. And we want to see her operation. Like, how does she keep the pigs? Not like that means anything about ours, but to get ideas. I believe she also raises hair sheep.
Right, which is
our next animal that
endeavor.
We will be getting is hair sheep. We specifically want kinds called Katanan sheep. In fact, when we were at the auction on Friday, there were some month-old Katanan sheep there. They were still on bottle, and there was a part of my brain going, and then I'm like, we can't handle two sets of babies at the same time.
We need to be smart.
I really like to get them more into the spring when grass is fully growing, so that I don't have to give them hay, especially in their beginning
because
time.
We are in our dry season right now.
Yeah.
But you
haven't cut the grass in like 2 months.
We are firm believers in community and everything that goes with that. And one of the biggest things is learning from people who have been doing this longer. Like, I think that is a big, huge blessing. I think that is the magic of the 2KK community, is that we teach one another what we've learned. And I'm very excited about 2026. January always sees new people coming and giving this way of eating a try.
Yeah.
So let's all do our best. Do you want to be more successful in your own keto journey? I think that our success is largely tied to the fact that we feel like our purpose is to help others.
Yeah.
And so because of that, it helps me to make good choices, because I want the people that are just coming into the space to make good choices for themselves so that they can enjoy better health. So if you are wanting to have success for yourself in 2026, my advice to you is to get deeper rooted into this community and make sure that you are encouraging newbies and showing and demonstrating how do you make this lifestyle sustainable.
Barbara said, for all the educators in the group, enjoy your winter break. December is a challenging month for all of you.
I know Juju B is off. So thank you to all. Evelyn is a teacher. Thank you so much to all of the teachers who bless our children. You're blessing generations, for years and years and decades to come. Thank you so much. Also, congratulations to Dustin from Keto Simple. I understand he is a grandfather 2.0.
Yep.
Another grandbaby. So excited for them.
Okay, so Christina said, in my family, everybody has a birthday twin. I have 3, and the day before is my grandfather's.
Wow.
3 days later is my grandma's, and we have Christmas in the middle of our birthdays. Tend to be looked over.
Wow, I am so glad that you're here, and we have a chance to see it and honor it.
John said, close to Christmas, birthdays have to be the worst. You totally got robbed. Birthday and Christmas got combined. Mine was far enough away. I didn't get robbed, but I used to try to guilt my parents because my birthday is December 6th, which is also the feast day of St. Nicholas. And if you don't know, St. Nicholas obviously becomes Santa Claus. Again, on that podcast that we were talking about earlier, he actually talks about where did, who was St. Nicholas, everything about Santa Claus. And I thought it was
Christmas
interesting.
Trees.
But, so St. Nicholas really was just a bishop who gave away stuff. He was a very generous person, put money in people's shoes and give away presents. And so I used to tell my parents, since my birthday is on St. Nicholas Day, shouldn't I get double presents? It didn't work, but I tried.
Nice try. I like A for effort.
Nancy wants her own day.
Okay.
Juliana said birthday month for the win. That's what I tried a birthday week. That doesn't work. At least not in our house.
So this coming for 50, I think
Lester's birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, Lester's birthday is tomorrow. Well, let's sing to him too. Ready?
Yep.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lester. Happy birthday to you, and many more, so many more. We've got a lot. What I'm learning is there was a lot of Christmas babies within the 2KK family. I know that Sam had a birthday here in December. Haley and Audrey, like I think
Max
just had a birthday. Max and Ruth had a birthday.
Yep. Their birthday is my birthday.
What is 9 months before Christmas?
A busy time in the Bear household.
Well, not just that, but like I think it's a busy time in all our houses. It was a busy time in the Stauffer.
It's actually March.
So what were y'all doing in March? Why is March the day?
Spring is in the air.
I guess it must be. Did you just sing, sort of?
Okay. A couple more before we get off. I did see, what is this, Demoria? When you get all packed, it'll be like Christmas for you guys.
It is.
So, looks like we should be able to get moved into the house.
We are going to have one
we've
yard sale after another.
We've got everything
tuned.
is set up in the bedroom.
Come to the Stauffer residence for a yard sale. Everything
is set up. Our couches, all of that, we're all set up. We just haven't physically slept in the house yet because Rachel is insistent on
curtains. Yeah.
See, the deal was never curtains. She said moldings. I got the moldings done. And then I'm like, okay, I'm ready. She's like, we need curtains. I'm like,
I think curtains are appropriate, don't you?
So curtains were supposed to be here today. So with any luck, we will be sleeping in our house for the first time in almost a year and a half.
Be home for Christmas.
And then the goal is to completely empty out that storage unit by February so we can stop paying $270 a month for a storage unit.
Joe,
most of that stuff is going because we haven't used it in a year. We probably don't need it.
Mistletoe.
Other than the Innova oven.
Yeah.
We need that.
I don't think we're getting snow.
No, I don't think we're getting. We did get snow last year on Christmas.
It was frost.
No, it was snow. I mean, it was flurries. We got flurries. We got snow. Frosty. It just melted before it hit the ground. But it was snowing.
I do remember sticking my tongue out at the sky. Curtains are vital. Thank you, Andy. John said, Joe, what do you mean? Birthday week didn't work. You got a 9-day birthday cruise. I say it worked. I say it worked too. You did. You got a whole birthday cruise.
I want a focus on me week.
Of Rachel's focus on him week. Yes. That's what you want.
Yes, I want a Rachel's
You want a focus on me week. That's what he wants.
Okay. We are going to get off, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Rachel will be live on Wednesday at 10 a.m. in the Meatheads group on Mighty Networks.
I dare you to join the Meatheads group.
So if you're not a member of our Mighty Networks group, go join. There is a complete free group, members.2krazyketos.com. If you want to support us financially and get some extra benefits like a weekly live coaching with Rachel,
I dare you.
You can do that on there as well. You have to do it from a web browser.
Dare you.
That will be at 10 a.m. Eastern, and then we will do a live stream on Wednesday night since Thursday is Christmas. If you don't join us, hopefully you will. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everybody, and we will see you guys again next week. Bye.